Coming up on First at 4, it's been more than 2 months since the historic flooding in our region, and the rebuilding process is still in so many different stages for many people. Plus, we continue to remember the life of Loretta Lynn. One of her former band members says she is now writing songs in heaven.
Plus, plenty of sunshine continues into tomorrow, along with some warmer temperatures. Details on a return to above average temperatures coming up as Mountain News First at 4 starts now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, some people are moving back into their homes in eastern Kentucky after the devastating flooding, but for others it's going to take a lot longer. Some homes still need mud out or muck out work. Others are being rebuilt. WYMT's Phil Pendleton spoke to a grateful homeowner in Breathitt County about the progress inside her home.
This is the Lost Creek community of Breathitt County. This is an area where people did whatever they could to survive and to salvage whatever they could. This home behind me had 3 feet of water inside. Pretty much everything inside this home was destroyed. The finishing touches are being put on the inside of Betty Noble's home. This is where she and her granddaughter rode out the flood, and where more than 2 months later, she is grateful for the amount of work done to get her back on her feet.
The Housing Alliance came in, and they have redone all of this here and helped me out an awful lot about, you know, getting it all fixed and trying to get me back into my home.
FEMA reports over 6,000 houses had 1 inch or more of water. The Red Cross is saying in just the 4 hardest hit counties, Perry, Knott, Letcher, and Breathitt, over 1,900 homes were either destroyed or suffered major damage.
The job to get things back to normal is still ongoing. It'll be years before things are back to normal. Officials with the Housing Alliance tell me there's still 100 homes across 4 counties that still need that mud out or muck out work. And they also tell me that it could be 5 to 7 years before things get back to normal here. In Breathitt County, Phil Pendleton.
Housing Alliance officials say if a home is more than 50% damaged, it could be ruled destroyed and not repairable. People affected by the flood are still struggling to get back to their normal life. The Millstone Community in Letcher County was greatly affected, causing many folks living in that area to tear down their homes and relocate or rebuild. Dean McBee, his wife and sister are all living together in a camper while they work to repair their home and wait for his sister to get a new one after having to tear hers down.
In your house, you are more comfortable. In the camper, they are limited space, tight quarters. You don't sleep well because it's not your home.
He says it's been hard trying to get used to this new normal. WYMT's Olivia Calfee will have more from the Millstone Community tonight at 6.
Plenty of sunshine yet again on the docket as we head out there around the mountains, around the region, as we head into this Wednesday afternoon and into the evening. A look outside at the moment from Letcher County, in fact, downtown Whitesburg. All's looking pretty nice. Not a cloud in the sky at the moment. Temperatures warmer than yesterday. How about middle and upper 60s in the east and low to mid 70s across the western portion of the area. 74 the current rating in Irvin, our warm spot around the mountains right now. Not a cloud in sight. This is in motion, trust me. There's just nothing in motion because it's all quiet outside. As we head into the overnight hours, down into the mid 40s out there. Maybe some calm winds and some patchy fog possible, but I think our frost threat is lower than it has been the past couple of nights due to those lows getting a little milder. Even milder tomorrow night, but a cold front's on the way to knock us back towards a little bit of a winter preview in some spots. Those details in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. We are continuing to remember the queen of country music, Loretta Lynn, who died yesterday at the age of 90. Although born in eastern Kentucky, Lynn has a long history of East Tennessee ties. As Sam Luther explains, many memories are being shared in Sevier County.
If I made someone smile, or just one life worthwhile, She was just like talking to the average person you'd run across. I mean, just some people, their heads get a little bit big, you know, when they're like superstars, and I mean, she just never was.
A coal miner's daughter from Kentucky with East Tennessee ties. 6 times, Loretta Lynn performed at the Country Tonight Theater in Pigeon Forge, always willing to go out of her way to make someone's day, like taking a picture with the mother-in-law of General Manager Jeff Taylor.
You know, a little thing like that can mean so much to somebody else. So yeah, she was awesome.
Her last performance at this venue was 2016, but you'll still hear a familiar sound today. Mike Caldwell has played the harmonica for Country Tonight for the last 25 years. Before that, he was on tour with Loretta Lynn for a decade, every night seeing the impact she had on the fans.
They identified with her. She wasn't hoity-toity. She wasn't fancy. Even if she was in a beautiful sequined gown and beautiful sparkly heels, as soon as she got on stage, she kicked them off. And she walked around barefoot on stage.
On flights from show to show, making memories that'll last a lifetime.
And then over the intercom, we hear Loretta's voice saying, "I'm driving, boys." And the plane is weaving a little bit, and you can tell they were letting her steer.
At 90 years old, when the country music star passed away at her Tennessee home, her old harmonica player couldn't help but think.
So the first thing I thought of, well, now that she's in heaven, I'll bet she'll write a heck of a song.
That there's still more music left to be played.
That was Sam Luther reporting. Loretta first performed at the Country Tonight Theater back in 2008, and her last performance was in 2016. Flowers adorn the doorsteps of Loretta Lynn's beloved ranch in Humphreys County, Tennessee. Many people have passed through. Some left flowers while others took pictures outside the gate of Lynn's home. Lisa Box was born and raised in nearby Waverly. She says she naturally got to know members of the Lynn family through the years.
Back in the day when I was younger, we could see her in Walmart and everybody would be so ecstatic to see her.
Humphreys County Sheriff Chris Davis says Lynn will be laid to rest at her ranch in a private ceremony. Specifics of those arrangements have not yet been announced. Coming up on First at 4, President Joe Biden and the First Lady travel to Florida to meet with local and state leaders following Hurricane Ian.
And temperatures continue their upward climb as we head into tomorrow, but more changes are on the way after that. The breakdown straight ahead.
Tension